presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Located in Charlotte, North Carolina, Quail Hollow was originally designed by the architect George Cobb back in 1961. And Frank, it features one of the most imposing finishing stretches on tour. They call it the Green Mile.
Yeah, 16, 17, and 18. What a great test and a wonderful way to finish this golf course. It has a nice flow to it. Anytime you're in the Carolinas, all these mature trees that really define the fairways. Everything's in front of you. Some greens with certainly a lot of pace out there. You tested every club in the bag. This is a great golf course.
Jordan Spieth ready for his second shot. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. All right, good putt.
The rhythm of that stroke. Didn't try and bash it in the back.
Frank, this is a really fun hole, a pretty short par 3, downhill.
Yeah, half a club, you can allow for that, so it won't play its full yardage. You can really see that right part of the green. That's the most inviting one, but when they stick the flag on the left, you really have to be precise. Oh, this is right at
it. So he's hit it inside 30 feet, not his best, but still a chance.
Yeah, the odd 28-footer, and that's exactly what it is. I've seen a few of those go down.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Just a couple of feet. One under early in the round. Moving on to the third hole now. It's a par 4, 452 yards.
Big sweeping dogleg left, and the fairway actually goes in the opposite direction of the dogleg. Must hit a good tee shot for two reasons. One, to find the fairway, and also the length of this hole, over 450 yards.
Well, this one is offline just a bit. Look out. You know, that one is going to end up in the rough. No fairway here. This one in that rough. Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep. Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole from that spot.
Well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot.
Collects another birdie with that stroke and goes to 2 under. Frank, this is a muscular par 4 here at just under 490 yards, the fourth at Quail Hollow, a difficult proposition.
It is, but fortunately that tee shot plays a little downhill. But one of the difficulties with the tee shot is the fairway kicks from right to left. So it needs a good one to keep it on the fairway, and another green that has 3 different levels.
Excellent, perfect position.
Ball's just sitting up too. You could hit anything from there.
Frank, as we look at the second shot here at the fourth, what's the best chance for a birdie?
A nice high floating second shot would be the ideal go here, Rich, just pitching slightly right of the flag. But you cannot afford to miss this green on the right.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. And Frank, the train is rolling down the tracks right now.
Just check another one off.
Now to the first par 5 here at Quail Hollow, the fifth hole. It's 570 yards, and it would seem, Frank, that this tee shot sets up well for a guy like Rory McIlroy.
It does. Someone that hits it long and moves the ball right to left, and that's what you're going to have to do here. One of the main reasons for that is not necessarily the dog leg, but the fact that the fairway, Rich, slopes away from you. It slopes to the right and away. So that makes that tee shot so much more difficult.
They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here, because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait. And at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
It makes the green in regulation. Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
Starting to fire on all cylinders. A couple of birdies in a row, and now 4 under. Wow, Frank, this is all you want in a par 3. 250 yards here at the 6th.
Hey, that's what these guys need, especially in a PGA championship. Fortunately, the hole plays a little bit downhill, but 250, whichever way you cut it, is a big par 3.
Setting up for the approach, this player in total command.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The decision-making, club selection's being spot on, but the execution, the swing, is really what I'm admiring right now.
And he's made the green. Spieth has this for par. In for par, and will sit tight at 4 under. Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5/7.
In today's game, 530 plus change you'd think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you. Water, or he's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there.
Huge with a capital H.
Moved it a long ways. Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. Frank, here we are at another par 5. Second shot to the 7th. Is it time to go pedal to the metal?
Yeah, this is the shortest of the 4 par 5s, and this the second shot has to be respected. Left obviously isn't ideal, but it's still better than letting the ball go to the right.
This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
As this putt for birdie. Takes care of business. 5 under par. Out of the short par 4-8 here at Quail Hollow, just 350 yards. Frank, players can lay it up and just hit a little baby wedge into the green, but why not go for it in one, try to make something happen?
I think both plans work well, Rich. This is one of those holes, the more you think about it, the more complicated it gets. You're going to lay it up, lay it up. If you're going to go for it, just aim at that tree and hit it down there. Just take your medicine.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Jordan Spieth ready for his second shot. Just a beautiful approach shot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
That's the cruelest thing about this game, Rich. I mean, it's just now it's another shot.
Good chance here. Currently at 5 under par. Did the job right there. Frank, this is a really good way to finish out the front side here at Quail Hollow. 495-yard par 4.
Yeah, it's the longest par 4 at Quail Hollow. Some say it might be the toughest. I'm not quite in that camp. And the reason why, that green slopes in from both sides, the left and the right. But you can see why good drivers have done well here, because there's a big reward for thumping a big, long, straight drive down here.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Frank, break down this approach shot here at the long par 4 9th.
Well, it's a lengthy one. A nice high, soft landing shot would work, but don't be too concerned if you're a little left or right of target, because the mounding on the green should help in your favor.
This one is definitely heading left. Looks like it is going to end up in the rough. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
And he's made it onto the green now. He has this for par. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back nine, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
Well, looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. Set for his next shot from a good position in the fairway. Frank, it's kind of cool if your golf course has a menacing name for the finishing stretch. There's the Bear Trap at PGA National, the Gauntlet at TPC Sawgrass, and here at Quail Hollow, the Green Mile. Does it earn the nickname?
Rich, I don't know about the name, but I think if you want to look at 3 holes in a row that are really going to get your attention, perhaps wreck your card, then 16, 17, and 18 at Quail Hollow are the ones. 16 a par 4 over 500 yards, 17 is just fraught with disaster, and then 18 requires you hit your best tee shot. I think even if those holes were in 3 different parts of the golf course, they'd get your attention.
Third shot for Jordan Spieth. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Settles in over the putt. Starting to lose count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 birdies today. Wow. Now to the par 4 11. Frank, what do you think of this hole?
It's an interesting hole, Rich, and I'm curious to see how aggressive players will play here today. The easy way, obviously, is just hit it down the right side and set up a nice second shot with a short iron. Or the most fun way is to take the big stick out and try and bite off as much of that corner as you choose, but be prepared to pay the price should it not come off.
Good contact, good result.
That's an absolute beauty.
So young and so accomplished already. Jordan Spieth, ready with his approach. This is a good-looking shot. Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Jordan Spieth eyeing this putt for birdie. He'd settle for par here. Needs this for par. Good confident stroke. That's what you like to see. Putting for par. Stays at 6 under. Frank, I think the mark of a good golf course design, changing directions. We go from a right to left hole, now at the 12th, to a left to right hole.
Yeah, there's no 2 holes at Quail Hollow that look the same. And this one's slightly downhill. Fairway tilts a little bit to the right. And it's a bit of a sleeper, and plus you add in on top of that 450 yards plus. This is a fairway that has to be hit.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I'd say a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
Now to the par 3 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. There's a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Now 8 under on the day. Well, now we come to the really interesting 345-yard par 4 14th. Frank, I'm thinking that if you're leading, you're probably not going to try to drive this and take on the risk with the water on the left. But if you're behind, you have a chance to make up some ground.
Yeah, I have it written in my yardage book, Rich, on this hole. Only good and bad things happen with the driver. Nothing in between.
Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Frank, this would be huge.
Oh, it's got that strut going, everything. This is when that hole starts to look a little bit bigger. You really feel like you can start to make everything.
Now as we arrive at the par 5 15th hole here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards, Frank, I think a player has to be thinking about doing what Rory McIlroy did in 2010.
It's the last of the holes that you can really be aggressive on, Rich. So a good drive down here. I'm well aware of the fact that there's water on the left. It's a good chance to make something happen before you play the green mile.
And that's what McIlroy did. Hit a tracer, then a 5-iron, knocked it in for eagle, shot 62, and won for the first time on the PGA Tour. Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Frank, with that brutal green mile looming ahead, beginning at the 16th hole, this might be the last really good opportunity to make something happen, to generate some excitement, this second shot to the 15th.
Really have to focus on what's ahead of you right now. Second shot, extremely uphill. So the higher you can hit that shot, the better off. And of course, this green too, where that ball lands, it's almost a lottery. There's so many undulations in this 15th green.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. And getting ready for the putt. Well, he's done it. That's an eagle right there. Tremendous effort. This is the start of what some say is the toughest finishing stretch on the PGA Tour. It's known as the Green Mile. Frank, what makes it so challenging?
Well, this hole in particular, Rich, the dogleg right, it means it plays every inch of it's just over 500 yards. That bunker you can see down the right, 325 yards to carry that. If you can fly the ball that far, at least you can chew off 2/3 of this hole, and that is well required here. Otherwise, it's a long, long second shot.
Well, now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours. Should be safely on deck.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. This for Jordan Spieth's birdie.
It doesn't go in, you got to add another one to the scorecard.
And that's where the golf ball's just staring at you and mocking you and laughing at you.
You know deep down it's smiling too, don't you?
Putt for par. He needs one. Did the job right there. Frank, this is all you want in a par 3, especially late in the round. You have to carry the water. You have to deal with the pressure. At 221 yards, this requires a player's very best.
On the process of elimination, don't go long, don't go left, don't go short, and right is marginal. It doesn't leave you with much.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Frank, chip shot here from just on the fringe. You like to hit this the way you would a putt?
Yeah, I normally take a club that's going to land just on the flat surface of the green, then run from there. Often people take too much loft.
Pretty good shot right there. Good par. Now to the finishing hole here at Quail Hollow. Frank, what can we expect?
If there was a name for this hole, Rich, it should be called Narrows. The creek that meanders its way down the left side and actually divides that hole into really half the size of what a normal par 4 should be. That makes it hard. The bunker on the right is your bailout area, just over 290 yards to get past that, and then the narrowest green that still sits up against the lake. This is just a brutal finish.
I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. You like the sound of this. 11 under par for the round. Really good round out there today. What's the mindset, Frank, to keep it going?
The first thing, really, Rich, just try and keep the same